what this year is doing to me? Look at this. Did you see that? See my gray eyebrow hair? I woke up thinking that I was gonna be forced to go out and get a 0% tornado. 0% tornado risk day tornado, but we got a 2%. We got a slight risk. We've been upgraded all day. 15% for wind, 5% for hail, 2% tornado risk here from the Storm Prediction Center's Day 1 outlook. That's what we get in Illinois this year. That's what I get for the month of May this year. Congrats to everyone who caught the dusty wedge in Texas last week. Or was it earlier this week? Feels like forever ago. It was a pretty gloomy day. We've got a stacked low just slowly meandering from Missouri into Illinois. We had a couple rogue tornado warnings yesterday. I was not out. I've been eyeballing today as a potential mini supercell day. We had a bunch of storms blow up over Indiana this morning, and the flow at 300 millibars is coming back to the northwest, so we had anvil debris blowing off storms to my south and east all morning, killing the vibes. We got a little midday sunshine, and now I am underneath the anvil canopy of a rather intense thunderstorm off to my south. It's kind of a linear complex where I'm kind of looking at the tail end Charlie, or what would maybe be a tail end Charlie if I get my way. I'm a bit annoyed at how far away I am. I'm about an hour away from where I think I could intercept this storm, which on a mini supercell day, when a storm looks like it's ready to go, you don't necessarily want an hour drive to get to it. It makes you think that I'm gonna target the storm, and by the time I get to it, it's gonna look like crap, and then I'm gonna wish that I was somewhere else, potentially back here or something like that. So I just think 2:15 p.m. leaving Urbana. I think it's about time. I've been staring at the visible satellite loop, the surface map, staring at the 0 to 3 kilometer Cape plot and the radar, just waiting for an area to look obvious, and I think we're about there with this area straight to my south, lifting right up to me. I think it'll have an interesting area to work with. I'm actually kind of curious. It looks like it may interact in the next hour or two with the outflow regime from the morning storms, and I'm just wondering if we can get some sunshine on it, if we modify that, if we won't just kind of enhance the desire for storms to spin down there. So this is definitely my tingles here for seeing a cool supercell or a tornado are probably at 2 out of 10, pretty low, but while it was a battle to get there, I'm now free for the rest of the day, and got some storms coming up at me, and we got a little, we wouldn't call it a vorticity rich environment, but we've got an environment with some vorticity in it, and we've put a little sunshine on it, and it's late May, so let's go check it out. As I turn here, you'll see the transition from kind of blue skies, anvil canopy, to the more cloudy south sky with the storm. We're on Highway 49, southbound, coming up to 133. We'll take that east toward Paris, Illinois, where we'll probably be driving into the core of this now severe thunderstorm warned storm. The more that I drive toward it, and the more that I look at the radar, and more importantly, the visible satellite and the surface map, the more I think that if anything's gonna do it in Illinois today, it's gonna be this storm that's gonna ride the Illinois-Indiana border. You look out ahead of it, and it's just got sunshine. There was rain and storms over Indiana all morning. There's kind of cool outflow there, and we'll get some sunshine on that, kind of modify it. That's a way to add some vorticity to your environment. And you've also got kind of an effective warm front there, which this storm is right in the vicinity of. And in a dream world, that storm will just lift with the warm front, which also, you know, has some added spin there. So we're taking an environment that in itself, you don't have a wind profile that screams organized supercells, low-level mesocyclones and, you know, potential tornadoes, but you throw in some Midwest magic, some mesoscale boundaries, we might have a storm that might be pretty cool looking, and it might even have a low risk of a tornado. So, again, about 15 minutes and I'll be in it, and then maybe 20 minutes we'll be looking at it. Right now I just have a big dark core to my east. We're gonna come in at this thing from the north, which in a lot of cases wouldn't be great, but today we're not doing big hail. Nothing that's gonna damage the vehicle anyway. We may take a few stones in Paris. I'm in Paris. I'm not so sure this storm doesn't need the tornado warning. Suddenly it's made a bit of a right turn, and it's got a bit of an inflow notch and some rotation. Once I flipped over to the Indianapolis radar, which is to my east of the storm, got a bit of a better view than I was getting from Lincoln to the west. Is this my turn? Yes. I'm a bit flustered that I can't see the action area of the storm yet, even though I am very close. We're just in the forward flank downdraft region, the rain of this storm. And a potential developing tornado is about 5 to 10 miles to my east-southeast, coming across the road at me. It was the first ping of hail off the car. We're about to go through the core of the storm. Thank God this train stopped. Got winds out of the northwest now. Not a bad look here at Kingman, Indiana. followed this same thunderstorm for over 3 hours. Partly because I had nothing else going on, and partly because it was showing at least some tendency to want to rotate, and I still trusted the environment ahead of it. It wasn't until the last hour or so of its life that it began to take on a more striking visual appearance. With prospects for a tornado still relatively low, my play was obvious. Stay out ahead of it and enjoy the show.
I might have issued a tornado warning on this storm. This probably isn't one of them, but I appreciate the vibes. So this storm turned out to be pretty. I think it's toast though. There's another
tornado warned mess to my south. I'm gonna drop down toward it mostly because home is south. Head back toward Interstate 74. But the storm is probably done, and maybe the storm will look cool when we get to it in about 15 minutes. Not optimistic. It is very messy on radar. 5:53 p.m. in Newtown, Indiana. Got a tornado warned something coming up here. Kind of a kinky blob, kinky bow. Some circulations within that. I'm headed down toward, right back toward Kingman, Indiana, where I came from. Should have a visual on the action area of this, if it's visible, in like 5 to 10 minutes. Very possible it's completely rain wrapped. Very possible it doesn't wait for me. Very possible it just doesn't do it. There it is though. Dark area straight to my south. Looks like we still have a decent environment feeding into it. Nice cue coming in from the left. Feeding into it. And that's the area. Try and get a view. That's where the tornado would be. If there was going to be a view of this tornado, this is where it would be. I'm sitting right in the notch of this high precipitation storm. You can see the gust front bulging out in the foreground, moving from right to left. But check out the rain bands that I'm sitting in, moving from left to right, feeding into the circulation. I can't see anything, and part of that is because I'm not even really looking in the right spot. Let's see what's going on up the road right in front of me. There's your rain-wrapped tornado, confirmed by a correlation coefficient drop on the radar, and a later sighting by a local sheriff. As I'm turning left here, I kind of thought the tornado had crossed the road in front of me by now, and I'd slowly be creeping in behind it. But I guess that's the thing about chasing a tornado you can't see. You don't actually know anything. The tornado is just to my right as I slowly make my way east down this small farm road. The wind outside my vehicle has gone completely calm now, and this is about when I decide that maybe I could have done without the last-minute peep show. Leaves are falling, debris falling. Tornado somewhere.
There's debris falling from the sky. There's a tornado somewhere.
Having had my fun, I'm clearly in over my head and decide to bail. Tree debris is falling from the sky and my winds have gone calm, suggesting the tornado is not very far away and is also probably headed my way. I hang a left and am immediately blasted by westerly winds that confirm the nearby presence of the hidden tornado cyclone. Luckily, it's already past my location and is moving away. I waited out the worst of the winds before getting back on my escape route and making my way for the interstate to call it a day and head for home.
Rain, rain, rain. I think we're gonna call it. I don't see any reason to continue after this blob further away from home. I'm at Interstate 74. Decided just to jump on there, drive through the core, well, what's, the back end of the core, and then be home in an hour or less. Decent little outing. It took forever for that first storm to do anything, but got some great structure, nearly wrapped up, and then a little kiss the action area of a blobby QLCS kind of thing. Solid day of observing severe storms in the Midwest, the Illinois-Indiana border. Raining pretty hard right now.
This rain-hidden tornado was indeed the only tornado of the day in the area, a forecasting and chasing wind, but the supercell structure from the first storm was definitely the prize of the day. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe buttons for me, and until next time, keep your head in the clouds.